Penguin Random House presents This Love That Feels Right by Ravinder Singh. Read by Nitin Bhattacharya. To Ankur Sharma, my first personal trainer in the gym. A jovial and good human being, I learned a lot from him. This one's for you, Ankur, my Guru Dakshina. My name is Naina Singhania. I am 25 and I am married. In my life, marriage happened first and I fell in love later. The only problem was, I fell in love with a man who's not my husband. This is my story. 1. On that afternoon, driving up the spiraling ramp connecting the basement car park to the exit, I lost my newfound confidence as a driver. It was my first time driving up a steep incline. The problem was not much with the driving up. It was that I stuck behind a car which had abruptly stopped. Damn! I cursed as I applied the brakes. The car in front of me had just begun to move when it halted again a few feet ahead. I tried to do the same, but I failed miserably. You see, the second I realized the brake to press the accelerator, my car began rolling backwards. Reflexively, I hit my right foot back onto the brake pedal. The vehicle immediately came to rest. Phew! I realized this was going to be tricky. You need to be quick with this whole shifting from the brake to the accelerator thing, I told myself. I took a deep breath and went for it again. The second attempt was unlike the first. The first had been better. I shifted from brake to accelerator effortlessly, but I fumbled while releasing the clutch at the same time. This juggling was challenging enough for me on level ground. This time the race was also against gravity. It was quite a circus. It required understanding, experience and a cool head, none of which I possessed at that moment. My car continued to roll back. I panicked and slammed hard on the accelerator. The engine roared. Time for me to release the clutch gradually, I reasoned, but I couldn't control the action and ended up releasing it in one go. The vehicle jerked forward and came to a dead halt. The ignition went off. I was back to square one. No, actually, I had rolled back and was further down from square one. The next second I looked into the rear view mirror and my fears came true. Another car had just arrived right behind mine. Shit! I hated being in that situation. All this while the car in front didn't move an inch. It must have been waiting for other vehicles to move. Stuck at a turn in the ramp, I could not see beyond the car ahead of me, but I could hear the sound of the engines and their accelerations. At that moment, how I wished that one of the cars would break down to buy me more time, but they only broke my heart. They moved. When the car in front moved, the world behind me expected me to do exactly the same. But I was on a slope, on a spiral slope with a car standing inches behind me. Plus my previous two failed attempts were still fresh in my memory. Mother Earth, swallow me. All this while I had been pressing hard on the brake. I reignited the engine. I was quick with this part, twisting the key and infusing life into my car, having mastered it through numerous repetitions during my driving lessons. Suddenly the car behind me honked, and then there were a few more honks, one after the other. In the rear view mirror, I could now see a trail of cars. Shit! It was time. Just do it, Naina. I looked at my moist finger trembling on the steering wheel. Sweat beads appeared and rolled down behind my right ear. I swallowed the lump that had formed at the back of my throat. I felt sick. I wanted this to be over as soon as possible. I have to do it. I have to do it. I psyched myself and then to my car. Okay, clutch done. Now, first gear. Okay, now, Mata Rani bacha lena. It is now all up to you, goddess. And then I let go. 2 seconds later, I felt the thud. The front of the car behind me was dented, its number plate bent. And guess what? It had a temporary number on it, and its white, pearl-finished body was glowing under the ramp lights. Even the goddess had not saved me. What? You rolled back into a brand new car? Manvika appeared to be shocked before she burst into laughter. She was thoroughly amused listening to my ordeal from the day before. I wasn't sure if she was laughing at the situation or at me.
I had become quiet, and when she saw my sad face, she stopped. "Oh, sweetheart, I was just imagining the whole scene," she said, still grinning and trying to control her laughter as she adjusted the edge of the towel she was wrapped in. The two of us were in steam room. I noticed how comfortably she had called me sweetheart, given that we had only got introduced to each other an hour back in the basement of the mall. I hadn't found a place to park my car in that jam-packed parking lot. I was in an argument with the parking lot attendant who was trying to get me to park my car in the open parking beside the mall when Manvika stepped out from her car. She had arrived just ahead of me and taken the last available slot, I suppose. "Hi," she said from a distance and walked towards us. The guard made a face when he spotted her. Perhaps she was a regular in this mall. I instantly recognized her, even though it was the first time I was seeing her in sportswear. Her stylish permed hair, which was thick, black and short, accentuated her oval face. It helped me recall who she was. She didn't look as tall as she appeared on the TV screen. I guess her sports shoes made the difference. She would be in stilettos in her show. Yet if not 5 feet 10 inches, she must have been around 5 feet 6 inches, at least an inch taller than me. But she possessed a fit body with just the right bust, something her business formals enveloped nicely. "Either you free up those reserved slots," she said, pointing her fingers at the space right next to the elevators, demarked by temporary barriers denoting that they were reserved for some exclusive guests in the mall. "Or let me speak to your boss so that I can complain to him about how the parking for differently abled people is being misused by some of the regular visitors with your help." She now pointed at the space beside the elevators where there would be a wheelchair sign which was no longer visible. I watched how in matter of seconds the attendant's face had turned pale. For a moment, he was at a loss of words. His tone changed to worry, and he immediately offered to help me find a slot. Manvika had nailed it. She smiled at me. I wanted to tell her that I knew her, but right then my first priority was to park my car. "Thank you so much," I said and followed the guard. Moments later, as I was waiting at a gym's reception area for a salesperson to attend me, I bumped into her again. Earlier, her attire had already made me guess that she might be heading for this gym. "Hey, you found a spot." I happily nodded and asked, "You are Manvika Thakral, right?" I had watched several of her 8:30 p.m. debates on Newsline, a popular news channel on TV. "Oh, so you know me," she smiled. I introduced myself and we spoke briefly as she was about to start her workout. But then she suggested that perhaps we should catch up after our workout. Even though she had said it casually, I felt obliged to meet her for what she had done for me back in the parking lot. And as it happened, we landed up together in the steam room and started talking. She was in no hurry and I had a lot of time. And with no one around us in that steam room during that time of the day, we eventually ended up having a long conversation. Since she had helped me in my moment of crisis, I ended up telling her about my previous day's experience, which coincidentally took place in every parking lot. I feel sorry that it was a brand new car. I only realized when I stepped out of my car to see what I had done. He was already out of his by then, I said shamefacedly. "He?" Manvika asked with a twinkle in her eye. I blushed. "The guy in the car behind me," I clarified. "Forget what you're thinking." I was petrified and I had to keep apologizing even before he could say anything. "Okay, then did he abuse you?" she asked concerned. "Nope, surprisingly he didn't. He was very calm." "Really? That's odd," Manvika said with disbelief in her voice. "Yes. In fact, not only did he not shout at me, but when he found out my problem, he offered to drive my car up to the ramp from where I took over." "What?" By now I could barely see Manvika because of the thick steam between us. "You lucky, beautiful girl," she teased. I blushed again. I knew the point she was trying to make. On the one hand, she made me feel good about myself, but on the other hand, I didn't agree with the logic with which she was trying to connect the dots. At first, I thought I would let it pass because we didn't know each other well, but then I thought otherwise.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?